Math 125, practice test 2. This is question 10. It's going to be a pretty big one to deal with. So I'm going to look at this set of elements across this operation, multiplication mod 6. So the question is it a group? And the way I can tell it's a group is if it passes all four of these tests, which are, is it closed? Does it have closure? Is it associative? Is there an identity? And lastly, is there an inverse? So if I can say yes to all four of these, it is a group. If I can say no to just one of them, it's not a group. So this is a finite group. It's pretty small. So I'll just make a lookup table on it to see if I can get it to see if I can pass these tests or not. So my operation is multiplication mod 6. And here we go. Since it's multiplication, that's pretty straightforward. Anything times 0 is 0. So I'm going to go 0 times 0, 0 times 1, 0 times 2, 0 times 4. And then that's 0 times anything. Anything times 0 is also 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. That's easy. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. But 8 mod 6 is 2. Right? Think about that clock. You get all the way back up to 6, which is your 0. You go 2 more to get to 8, and you're at 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Mod 6 is 2. 4 times 4 is 16. Mod 6. 6 goes into 12, so it's 4. Okay, so first question, closure. Is it closed? It closed. And what I mean by that is, are any new elements formed when you combine all the elements? And no, we don't get anything new. We only get 0, 1, 2, and 4 back. So yes, it's closed. Is it associative? In other words, the way that you associate things with the operation, does that change your answer? So for example, if I go 2 times 4 times 2, well, I'll get the same answer if I went 2 times 4 times 2 with all the elements. And notice in this case, 2 times 4 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. Yep. It happens. And I could go through and check every element. This is multiplication. Multiplication's associative. I know multiplication's associative under modulo. So, yeah, it's associative. Next question, does it have an identity? Is there an element such that when you combine it with an element or combine another element with it, do you always get back that original element? So it is multiplication. 1's a pretty good candidate. And I notice if I multiply anything by 1, I get that anything back. If I multiply 1 by anything, I get that anything back. So yeah, my identity is 1. There's my idea for that. I'll say no new elements. That's my proof that it's closed. Now, last question, is there an inverse? In other words, can I always combine an element with a different element and get that identity back? So in other words, like here, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 is its own inverse. But what I need to find is, does everything else have an inverse? And I notice that like 0, I never get 1 as an answer. 2, I never get 1 as an answer. So there's not inverses for everything. No, inverses don't exist in this system. And I could say, for example, 0 doesn't have 1, 2 doesn't have 1, 4 doesn't have 1. 4 have no inverse. So since one of these things was no, it's not a group.